Okay. Good morning. It is just about 7 o'clock in the AM on Wednesday, August 14th, 2019. In the lunar cycle Okonokist Otsitsitspi, when the Saskatoon berries ripen. And I'm just getting my day going a little bit earlier than usual. And I'm going to continue to do that every day for the next month. Just kind of start a little bit earlier, a little bit earlier, a little bit earlier, and get to sleep a little bit earlier, a little bit earlier. I need to train myself for the winter schedule because I'm going to be expected to be in office starting around 8 o'clock in the AM. And if I want to keep working the skunks myself, not have to hire somebody, I'm probably going to have to hire somebody, but if I want to keep working skunks and raccoons, small mammal stuff in the mornings myself, I'm gonna need to get up early. And the big challenge, where I'm sure I'm gonna need to hire some help, you know, I'm gonna have to give somebody else some of this work. The big challenge is gonna be the days that Chelsea's working, because she's gonna be doing 3 on, 3 off, 3 on, 3 off. And when she chose her schedules, you know, for what hours the shifts would be, they're 12-hour shifts, right? And when she chose the hours, I thought 7 to 7 sounded better than 10 to 10, because she had started off doing 10 to 10, and that brought her home really late at night, and the kids, you know, miss seeing her and stuff. And I was thinking more along the lines of my summer schedule at that time too, because well, it was earlier in the summer, and I was thinking, okay, you know, I can work around the animals and stuff in the morning with the kids, and then in the evening time, though, is when I do rattlesnakes and when I really don't need to have kids with me. So it'd be better if she had more evening time. So we chose the 7 to 7, but not thinking winter, that's going to be a big struggle. But that's okay. My life is full of struggle. I think I'll talk about some of that today. But first off, we got a double raccoon, 2 raccoon juveniles in a trap, looks like on the west side of town here. And then we've got 5 or 6 traps to go around and check. No doubt we'll have some skunks and that kind of thing to get the day started.
So is catching too common?
Not so much with raccoons as skunks, but with juveniles, yeah, it's not totally uncommon. They follow each other so close. Hey, babies. Hey, babies. Yeah. All right. Hey, babies. We're gonna go for a little ride. Yeah, it's funny. I just got a message as I got back into the vehicle here that a guy just down the road from here, same little loop, probably you know, 20 houses down or whatever, he's got a skunk for me in one of his own traps. So we're gonna swing by there and pick up a skunk quick, and then go probably do a release before we move on to more animals. Just a little guy in this first skunk trap. I just pulled him out of the backyard and put him on the bumper here. Gonna take a ride. I think we will check one more trap just to get it done before we head out to release these guys. Oh, nobody in this trap, but I caught one here yesterday. So my protocol is basically keep it going until I've had 4 nights in a row with no hits. Then I can assume that probably nobody's around. Anyway, let's go do the release. There you go, Skunky. See ya. You guys ready? You're ready. You're ready. There you go. Oh, little baby. Little baby. You look so beautiful. You are so scared. Come. Come, it's okay. It's okay. It's all open now. Come on. You can come out. Come on. Oh. Come on, little raccoon. Come on, little raccoon. Let's go. You can go out now. Come on. You're safe. You're safe. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Come on, let's go. You can come out. You can come out. Come on. Come on. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Come out. Come on. Come on out. No. No, you don't have to be scared. Come. Come. Come out. Come on. Come on. Come on, little guy. Oh. Come, come. Come, come. Come on. Let's go. Let's go out now. Come, come. Here, you want to go by the tree? Let's go by the tree. Come here. There we go. There we go. You like to climb, right? There we go. Now we're climbing. There you go. All right. You're safe now. Good luck. It's just about 8:30 in the morning now, so I've been out for around an hour and a half. I'm kind of timing it, and I'm guessing that it's going to take me about 3 hours to do my small mammal rounds, given how active my traps have been. Thought I was done with the west side, but ooh, somebody just about backed into me. Crazy peoples. Thought I was done with the west side, but got another call just as I was heading down Bridge Drive, so I'm glad they called me then rather than before I'd already crossed the whole river valley and everything. This one's taking me back into Heritage. This is Mahoney's neighborhood, and picking up a little skunk. This is the second one that I've picked up from this residence. Picked up another one yesterday. Hey there, Mr. Skunk. Yeah, this is a good sized juvenile. This is one that looks like he was born probably real early, nice and early in the season, compared to that little one we had this morning. All right, we're going for a ride. Well, the whole time thing is not working out for me. It's already 9:30 now. Another hour has passed, and that's because I forgot to bring back the one trap from the first skunk we picked up. That's now my trap. And then I got a request for another skunk trap on the west side, so I went and took care of those things. Now I'm going to release this guy, and then we're going to head over to the north side and start checking traps there. Okay, buddy, you are free to go. See ya. Get 'em Hudson. Oh, there's a skunky over there. Good thing I got here kind of early, right out in the sunlight. Just starting our north side trapping, or trap checking, I should say. Obviously, got one here to work with. I'm gonna need the tarp. I'm gonna need an egg. This is my meal for the breakfast slash lunch, pulled pork with barbecue sauce. And this will be skunk food. Yep, we're upset. Going for a ride, Skunky. Going for a ride. All right, the second and last of the north side traps that I'm actually monitoring myself is here, and obviously we've got a Skunky. Hey, Skunky. Yeah. Time to go for a ride. Out in Upper Pavan Park now. Try to kind of distribute these guys as equally as I can through the city parks. Boyo. It's now just past noon, and my skunking work for the morning is still not over. I had to make a run to Coaldale, the town of Coaldale next. Is it a town or is it a city? It's probably big enough to count as a city, but it's still much smaller than Lethbridge. Yeah, remember that place where the Birds of Prey Center was? A few days back I had rescued a gull from Galt Gardens, a ring-billed gull, and I brought it with me to Coaldale, where I was going to be setting up a trap anyway. And that's at the residence who phoned this morning, or phoned this afternoon with a skunk. So I had to run out that way. The gull, by the way, from that day, that video, the gull was living happily in my backyard for a few days, enjoying the kids' swimming pool and feeding off of sardines and other scraps and stuff, high protein stuff. And then it disappeared. I scoured the neighborhood a bit looking for it, in case it was just around nearby, but I couldn't find it. Probably if it went anywhere nearby, it was going to the big football field where gulls gather at Winston Churchill High School. He may be over there, in which case, good for him, because that's a better place to be, I think, than my backyard for his healing. But yeah, gull is gone. And I've caught now, I think this is the third skunk from that residence that I set up at Coaldale. So I went and picked up that skunk. I didn't film the release because, it was one of those situations in the country where I just wanted to get in and out real quick. And now I have 2 new clients that have phoned just this morning to asking me to set up traps on the west side. So I gotta go put up some more traps yet. And this is not a typical day. I can't really, I've given up on using this day as a standard for adjusting my sleep cycle, because it's not a usual day when I get 7 or 8 animals to move. How many have I had today? I've lost track already in my head. But way more than usual. So, so we're casting that project aside for another day. And, but I still had the earlier wake up, which is good. The earlier start out the door anyway. yeah, and we'll see what else happens. But I thought before I go set up those traps and before it gets too hot, I would stop here at the forest main at Spokane because I got some personal updates that I want to give of a more serious nature. Not for real, but yeah, this seemed the most appropriate place to come to give those updates. So what I'm about to show you is a little bit of footage that I took almost 2 months ago now, not quite 2 months ago. And it might end up being the last footage of Mahoney and I together at Spokane. It was taken on June 19th, and as you'll see, I mean, even though that was already almost 7 months into our separation, we were still having a lot of fun, enjoying ourselves, joking, you know, even joking at a risk, at expense to others in this case. You know, if somebody sees this who, oh, there's a deer right here. Just hidden in the bush. I won't bother him, or her actually. But yeah, there's some magic keys in this video clip, and if you're the owner of those magic keys, I'm sorry we played with your keys, but we were just trying to negotiate some things among ourselves. We were trying to have a good day together, and we did. We had a nice day together, and then, you know, as she went on her trip, things went sour. And I've come to understand that she's had some pressures on her, you know, the last little while that I haven't been aware of, that may have compelled some of the decisions that she made. But I want to show you this clip, and then I want to talk to you about it, because this is probably the last time, it might be the last time for a while or forever that you're going to see Mahoney on this channel. And it's probably the last day for a while that I'm going to talk about the stuff going on with our divorce and separation. So, but first, check this out, because I think, you know, I retained this clip because I didn't have any follow-up to it. This is really the kind of the first opportunity that I've had that I felt like it was appropriate to insert this video and follow it up. So check it out. All right, it is June 19th, Wednesday, right? June 19th, the Wednesday. You want to explain what's going on here?
We're coming down the path and walked up because he wanted to show me this thing. It has like a sign on the other side of it. It was not done. It's like supposed to be some kind of art piece or something.
Yeah, well, it had this sign. It was like an ironic sign on there that, like, the regional art group didn't recognize this piece yet.
Yeah. That
kind of thing.
Yeah, so anyway, so it was up, and then we came over here, and it's been knocked down now. And there's this little, like, wire here, and these keys were just hanging on this wire. So we started wondering what the keys were for. We thought maybe it was for something in here, so we started looking for something to unlock, but we couldn't find anything. And so I said, what if it's something like hidden, like a geocache or something? And so I'm gonna write when I come back next time, I'm gonna bring a magic marker, and I'm gonna write, we have the keys, what's next?
So so to get this story straight, basically we came here and saw that this pile of trash had changed a little bit, and there was somebody's keys dangling on a big backboard, like, so that they could be very visible. And we figure there's two options. There's either option A, somebody dropped their keys while they were running on the trail, and a good Samaritan picked up their keys, displayed them here so that they would see them when they passed by again. They'd be easy to find. That would be one way of looking at it. Option B, these keys will open a magic box that's hidden somewhere in the coulees.
I'm not crazy.
And that's the option apparently we're going for. So we're gonna hold on to the keys for a couple of weeks until we're sure there's not a magic box somewhere in the coulee. And meanwhile, we're gonna write on here in a really mean way, we have your keys.
No, I was gonna say we have the keys. What's next?
Okay, yeah,
You know?
yeah.
It's not mean.
Okay, all right. We'll see what comes. Yeah, we've hardly gone more than 50 meters. We're gonna go ahead and check the key against the most obvious suspect. For option B, that is. Not the most obvious suspect in general. Mahoney's all zoomed in on her phone.
What?
What?
What are you talking about?
Huh? We're gonna check the old mine from 1940-41 that exploded here, and the there's still a vent. I mean, it's still like burning underground, and there's still, in the winter, there's steam coming up from that vent, like just a hole in the ground. And here's the old mine shaft, and I know it's locked up, steel bar locked and all this. I wonder if it actually has a lock or if it's just completely bolted into place. We're gonna find out here real quick. Yeah, this doesn't have a lock. It's just bolted in place.
It's an abandoned mine shaft.
Yeah. Stuff Goonies are made out of. So you can see what I mean, you know? Almost 7 months into our breakup, and things were looking like pretty amicable, like we could get along. You know, I envisioned Mahoney and I staying connected and staying friends for, you know, it's hard to imagine a life that doesn't include her in some way. You know, not that that takes away at all from, in my heart, from what I'm doing with Chelsea or anything, but you know, Mahoney is always going to be one of the loves of my life, just like Chelsea's ex is that for her. It's just the way it is. We fell in love, and in my case, I kept the marriage going with Mahoney for 22 years, which it's really unfortunate that when that falls apart, when the marriage goes south in some way, that, you know, in some people's feelings and opinions and stuff, it was wasted time. It was, all that 22 years and you wrecked it. You know, I'd rather look at it as, that's 22 years. Most people aren't able to live with someone for that long. That's a success. That's 22 years, and then, you know, we got to a point where we weren't getting along enough that something had to bend, you know. But 22 years is a good stretch. There's nothing to feel bad about. And yet I do. But I think it's because of all the cultural narratives that I've been fed, you know, around relationships and stuff, and relationships and ethics and morality, and you know, I feel really guilty about what's going on. And the other day I started getting some messaging from Mahoney that didn't help alleviate my guilt at all, because she's being harassed. You know, some of the people who are watching my videos on YouTube who live in Lethbridge have been harassing her. At least from their, you know, it upset her enough that she finally started messaging me when she doesn't really want to talk to me right now. And she said on 3 occasions now in town that she has been confronted by some of my YouTube subscribers, and they've said nasty things to her because of the divorce. And in one case, a guy yelled out his window at her and told her he was gonna do some pretty rank things to her because of what she was doing. So, and she's worried about Justine as well. And I realized that I've put her I don't know. I mean, she's not really in a vulnerable position that I've put her in, but I feel like she's vulnerable. And with me, there's nothing really that motivates me more strongly than a rescue effort of somebody in a vulnerable position. That's the damsel in distress thing gets me every time. And Mahoney should be able to take care of herself. She's a grown woman with a lot of experience. She should be able to fend for herself and everything. But she's asked me to take down videos that feature her, Justine, the house, for their protection. And that would be hundreds of videos, of course. And so I haven't agreed to that. But what I said I would do is I would privatize videos in my weekly updates playlist. And for those who are in my channel, if you don't know, I have playlists too. If there's certain kind of themes and topics and stuff that I cover that you like more, if you're just a snake guy, watch this, subscribe to the snake playlist or whatever, watch that, the rattlesnakes, but I do have a weekly updates playlist that in there are, the videos where I've gone in any depth or any description, detailed description about things happening in our separation or divorce. So I've agreed to privatize those for the time being, just to help her have a little bit of privacy. And I will be privatizing this video as well, but I wanted to get the message out there to subscribers that I'm not okay with you harassing Mahoney. That's not what I'm that's not what I'm asking for by making these videos at all. I'm just journaling, and this journaling is a part of my therapy, and it's also a form of protection for me. I started journaling a little bit more detail recently as I've felt more threatened as the full-on legal divorce proceedings that neither Mahoney or I can even afford to do, but are going to have to do. As that starts approaching, I felt more and more threatened, and I felt like recording more and more of my experiences and thoughts and things going on. I've found that videos, my videos have helped me legally in the past when I had to prove something, 2-3 years later. So the extent to which I'm really quiet about what's going on with our marriage and stuff like that is probably going to depend somewhat on how threatened I feel, of course. But for now, I've agreed to do some privatization of some of the videos that you've already seen if you've been following the channel. And I will be privatizing this one as well, probably a week out or whatever. And then we'll see, we'll see what happens from there. But yeah, don't expect me to talk a lot about Mahoney and what's going on that side of things. Although I think I'll have to continue to give some kind of general updates, if there's going to be significant shifts in my life that would be noticed. Anyway, there needs to be some explanation, right? So yeah, that's really what I had to talk about. The big cheese. And I'm going to go over to the west side now. Well, I'm on the west side of the river, but I'm going to go up the hill and set a couple of traps. It's getting warm. Might be some snake activity, but unless I get snake calls, as soon as I'm done setting these traps, I got to go get some psalmist work on, get some book work on back at the house.